Good night, everyone doing tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J. I'm here to give you a little shout news and a word on tonight. Now, we're going to talk about Social Security because they're talking about cutting Social Security and Medicaid. And I say Social Security to stay, because they take off of Medicaid and Social Security. So when they retire, that's all they're looking for, you know. And so they want to cut benefits for Social Security and Medicaid, and also either if they don't cut it, thinking about raising it to 65 or 70. So that's just on the table right now. To receive benefits, you can receive benefits now for $62. I'm just saying, 62 years old. If you cut Social Security, or raise the age to 65 to 70. Many work so hard for their benefit. Many work so hard for their benefits. They take out, so when they get a certain age, they're ready for their retirement. They're ready for it. So and Medicaid the same way. We need Medicaid. We need Medicaid. The same with Medicaid, they take out and own it, you know, for your income that when their retirement is Social Security. Social Security on the income. And if they cut Medicaid, how they gonna pay for their own medicine? So they want to be able to afford paying Medicaid. And so I request that we're gonna keep Social Security off. Because when elders get a certain age, that's all they look for. They ain't gonna have no other income. So we're gonna keep the Social Security. We also gonna leave the minimum wage to apply for Social Security gonna be 62. And our request for Medicaid to don't be cut. Social Security is for Medicaid, Social Security, and Medicaid. They take out. So and then we also need Medicaid for them folks to take it. To afford, because I see some of them still coming out their pocket paying for medicine. So we're gonna keep Social Security and Medicaid. We both want it to remain and keep the age for Social Security that you're gonna apply for at 62 years old. So now we're gonna talk about a word. This widow, she give all that she had, and sometimes when you give a little to God, it's a lot. Jesus noticed that way over there. And Jesus confronted them. See, y'all to put such and such in there. There should have been way more than this widow here. And she put all that she had in that basket. Luke chapter 21, 1 through 4. So as Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gift into the temple treasure. He saw the rich. Okay, the rich is putting his in. And so now God never said how much you can give. And so rich start giving their gift. Now when you put in church, sometimes they don't put no limit. So that means you can put what you want, but when you pay your tithes, it's 10%. And so Jesus had the rich. So they putting in, and with the rich, they could have put in more than what they put in. He also saw the poor, widow had put in two very small coins. She had two small coins, and that was a whole lot to her and to Jesus, because he saw her way from a distance. She had two little coins, was her life, and she put it in the basket. you know, and Jesus was the only one, has in the area has saw. The temple called the court of the women. In this area where is 7 boxes, in which the worshiper could deposit their temple tax. 6 boxes for free will. You know, an offering like the one this woman had. Now she give all that she had and sacrifices and great help. Now she give it willingly. And that's what we have to do. If you wanna give willingly. Don't be doubting yourself and expect to put in there, well, God gonna give it back to you. No, don't bring it up that God gonna get, cause see, He ain't. If you bring it up and say, oh, I'm gonna give my last because God gonna give it back, which He is, but He don't want you to brag on that you gonna get it back, because some people just put a lot in there. Oh, God gonna give it back. He don't want you to brag on your riches, and that what you're doing for people. So Jesus Jesus was in the area. He saw her from a distance. Could deposit their temple, taxing 6 boxes. So truly I tell you, he said, the poor widow had put in more than others. Now he said she put in more than others. You remember at the beginning they had rich people. So so he figured the rich people put in, they could have put more. You know, she put 2 small coins in the basket. That was more than what the rich people put in. And so he considered that the widow had given more than anyone else. Because he measured the gift not by his commercial value, but agreed. Now the sacrifices of the giver are heart of the truth of the vaccination, not money, was the issue. And a lot of time, we always looking at, we can put in $100, put in two, but then you hustling trying to pay your rent. So you got to limit it on your money, what you want to spend in it. So the commercial value, you know, but the degree of sacrifices of the giver, the heart, the truth, the vaccination, not money, was the value thing in his kingdom. Now, this widow give all that she had, a last penny from her heart. She left, himself doing to the life, you know, to live on. Now for all these, cause see that was her last. Now she got to figure out how, she gonna live. So all these people they give out of their wealth, but she, give her power, put in all sacrifices. So we see that this widow had give all, and she lived. She lived all. And Jesus letting the rich know, know that because your wealth, you give because you had enough to give. See, that's why Jesus saying she put more, because the wealth they put in what they thought was more because they had enough. But she put in more because now she ain't got enough. So you give, because you had enough to give. Wasn't from your heart, but widow give her last, so that the land, so that she had from the heart. Now Jesus had looked on, and he had saw that the rich is putting in gifts, into the temple, treasure. Now he also saw the poor widow put in a very small coin, put in two very small coins. Now truly I tell you, now you say this poor widow had put in more than a wealth because they put in what Jesus is saying. They put in they put in more what they can afford to put in there. See, they can afford to put $100, $200, $500. You know, he can afford to pay that. But she put in all that she have. You know, she put in all that she have. So that's the story of the widow. She give from her heart. She give her last from her heart. The widow give. I mean, it said the rich had give. They give because what they afford to give. But she give out of her heart. And we're gonna give more each time. So that's all I have for you today. We talk about Social Security and Medicaid. We don't need them to cut the Social Security and Medicaid. We're gonna keep Social Security and Medicaid. You know, we don't want them to go up on the edge and stuff like that. We're gonna keep it at 62. So that's all I have for you today. Y'all have a nice and blessed and safe night. See you.